Hello, everyone out there in internet land. This is Eric Prusak from Enagic Web System. I am so excited and pleased to be here with you today. It is absolutely fantastic to see all these wonderful people pouring into the chat room. Welcome, Jason, Jim, Diana. Welcome. There's two Jims in there. Welcome, everyone. Tonight we have a very special webinar for all of you, and we're so excited to have you with us. I've got not one, not two, but three awesome guests here with me tonight. Three leaders in Enagic, and one of them is a pioneer. It's been around since the beginning. I remember about 10 years ago when we got started. So we've got a really exciting call organized for you tonight. For those of you that are not already Enagic distributors, and you might be invited to this call by somebody who either cares about you or wanted to share an opportunity with you, you're in a really great place right now. So just sit back, relax, enjoy the hour presentation, because I believe by the end of this you're going to be ready to start the rest of your life. Because we say when you change your water, you change your life. And by the end of this webinar, that's going to make perfect sense to you. So we hope you enjoy the show. Afterwards, get in touch with the person that introduced you, and they'll help you get started on the next step to the rest of your life, to having success. Just like you, Michelle. How you doing this evening?
Hey, I'm doing well. It's exciting to be here with everybody. I hope you're doing great too.
Yeah, it's so good to have you, Michelle. You look beautiful as always. And you're calling in from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you're a veteran as well. Been here for 8 years. You and I have been working together for 8.5 years now. It's been a while.
It's been a while, and you know what? I have loved this journey. So I'm excited that you're all on here with us tonight. Just hold on to your seats. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. We have one of my mentors, Romy Verdera, and one of my team members, actually, Nyla Gann, who has done phenomenal. I remember when I met her, you know, we just connected heart to heart, and just loved her from the start. So we're excited.
I love me some Nyla and Romy too. Great people.
Yes.
Great people.
Great.
So inspiring. Your stories, I got to hear part of them earlier today. Were so inspiring, and I had a lot of fun hanging out with you, Nyla and Romy. So let's go ahead and get started tonight. I mean, Michelle, you and I, like I said, we've been working together for a long time. I work with the company directly. I work with Enagic USA in Japan, and I help develop the web presence for Enagic, the websites that the distributors utilize to market their businesses. We develop the back office and the global web presence for Enagic. So I'm here not as a distributor, but as part of the corporate team. And it's an absolute pleasure to be here and, of course, be able to share with you what I believe to be the best opportunity on the planet. Because for me, it started with the water, just like everyone else. Not everyone else, but a lot of people have that same story. Someone brought the water into their lives, and the water changed their lives, and that's what happened with me. Being in the web development industry, it was an exciting thing for me. I was also a very healthy, health-conscious person. And when I started drinking the water, I had amazing results with it. And because of that, I got passionate about the company, the products, and what I learned after that was just phenomenal. And today, 10 years later, I'm still working with the company, and I've been enjoying every single moment of it. And it's a pleasure to be able to introduce some of this information to you guys tonight. What we want to do, Michelle, is if you'd like to, what I want to do is share some information about, maybe let's start a little bit about the products. Some people may or may not have heard about the Kangen water, what that is, or the machines.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you could share a bit of information about that.
Yeah, you're going to be excited to see that. We have some great slides we're going to show you here, and actually this is the corporate website, the enagic.com, and you can access that and take a look around. You'll enjoy that. We have 8 different machines, and they are all just absolutely phenomenal. They have different places for different folks, whatever everybody wants to do. We have a starter unit, and it goes all the way up to our commercial unit, and they make alkaline ionized water and superior hydration, and actually we call it alkalized hydrogen-rich water, and we are so excited that you're getting to learn about this. I remember when I learned about it first. Now, our Nest Spa, that is a real spa-like experience. And we also have Ukon turmeric. and it's a supplement through Okinawa, Japan. Well, all the farms are in Okinawa, Japan, a very high-quality turmeric. And we have just the greatest in the world. Now, the company is 42 years old. It's out of Okinawa, Japan. The factory's in Osaka. It's an original equipment manufacturer, and that means that everything is purchased. You know, when you buy from an original equipment manufacturer, you're buying the best. You're buying a company that actually makes their own everything for this company, and they are the gold standard in the industry. And it's really quite amazing. I've actually visited the factory a couple times, and we were just blown away, my husband and I, when we saw this. So take a look at that website there, and that's one of the factory workers. They take the machines and work with them. Each individual machine gets extra special care. Now, what are these devices? What are they doing? They are creating a water that is just like the water that we would have found in the beginning of time. So the Russian scientists went out and they discovered that in the healing bodies of water around the world, Telacote, Mexico, Nordenau, Germany, Lourdes, France. I'm sure some of you have heard about Lourdes. People go to Lourdes to bathe in the healing waters at Lourdes, and they get great results from water. So when they did that, the researchers found that there were certain properties in water that created the best water. Now, as you can imagine, the world was filled with water when the planet first was introduced, and we were all born in water, and we are water. So our body is 75% water. And water, my friends, is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And we are on the edge of this cutting-edge technology. We're on the forefront of a great explosion. We actually are excited about the timing. It's innovative. It's amazing what can happen with this water technology when you get it in your home personally. You drink the water, you'll notice a difference with your health. If you have great water, you can have amazing results. Now, we don't make any medical claims, but I will tell you, if you want to, you can take a look at this and you will see people claiming everything from A to Z because they've had great water, and their water balances their bodies and makes a very good scenario. But we are excited about the hydrogen, the rich water, well, actually H2, and it actually creates a free radical scavenger in the body. So can you imagine being able to balance your body with water? What was so intriguing to me was when I found this water, Eric, I was actually going to a medical clinic with my mother. And we were coming in the door for water. And they were telling me all kinds of stories and all kinds of testimonials. Well, what I found out was that clinic used to own a different type of water machine. Now remember, I told you that water is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So there are other brands out there. And so what happened was they had something else, and they didn't get the results that they got with this Kangen water machine, or Kangen water, however you want to pronounce it, from Enagic. And when they got the Enagic machine, they noticed that people kept returning for the water, and they started getting health results. Now we've got the K8, a brand new machine with 8 plates. It's a global machine because our company is a global company. And if you can't tell already, I'm really excited about our products.
I know. It's
just excited. And
drinking it for 10 years has just been a phenomenal experience for all of us on the line. And you know, the stories that Romy and Nyla are going to share are fantastic. I mean, what happened to Nyla specifically is mind-boggling.
It's exciting. It's just really simple. You know, water is simple. One of the things that I learned, that one of the best opportunities for building wealth was the network marketing is what they call it, and direct sales. And they say that one of the best vehicles for building wealth is a direct sales network marketing, meaning you do get a chance to have some commission when helping others.
Right.
I find it very interesting, Eric, because I have made some of the best friends I've ever made in my life in this
Me as well. Yeah, it's been special.
Yeah. So anyway, you know, these kind of machines will not sell on shelves at Walmart. It just won't happen. So
person-to-person marketing is what Shiro likes to call it.
Human-based. And
Human-based.
He also believes that as human beings, we need to have true health. And that's the name of this webinar, is True Health Webinar. And the reason we call it that is that we want you to experience life to its fullest.
Yeah. And what Enagic provides is the vehicles for that, don't it? I mean, you're a seven-figure earner. You've done amazing things with your business here, Michelle, and you have quite the story to share. We actually talked about that last week. It has been incredible, not only for your body, drinking the water, becoming hydrated, becoming balanced, experiencing the process of homeostasis returning to your body, and what that does for you, having health and vitality. It's just, this water is amazing. You have to drink it. If you haven't drank it yet, get with the person that invited you, because you really need to start trying the water immediately. Okay, take our advice, try the water as soon as possible. Okay, the next thing we start thinking about after that.
Because order a machine without even trying it. I only drank 1 gallon of water, and I
bought one that way.
And in fact, Danny Daniels, he's one of my fastest growing distributors in my organization. He never tried any water. And you know, we sold a lot of machines over the telephone. But you get it, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you can try it for 30 days and see what you think about it. But I think you will be pleasantly surprised. But make sure that your kids and your husband, or, you know, spouses, they all get to drink it too, so you can really see what it's going to do. Wow. We're going to go right into this, the opportunity of creating wealth in your household. This is what was so intriguing to me, is the actual opportunity to have a business out of my home. And, you know, they were telling me that I could earn commissions from my very first sale, and I could make anywhere from $340, you can see that on the left there, as a 1A distributor, all the way up to $2,040 on a single sale.
Amazing.
And all the way through 8 levels. So believe me, it adds up. And daily income come from that. They pay daily. And if you put forth the effort, it's just the beginning, because there's several bonus categories that you begin to qualify for. You can qualify for an educational bonus, the global 8-point bonus, the regional 8-point bonus, the international revenue sharing pool, and the global sales incentive. And I believe that's where our guest, we have these 2 guests tonight are at different ends of the career path, but they're both in that path. And I believe Nyla is at the 6A2, which is really incredible. And then on the whole other end of the spectrum, which is really kind of interesting to have 2 totally different scenarios for distributorships here. But Nyla's on the path. I'm on the path.
Yeah. And I have one that's a 6A2, so I'm working on my dash 2 now.
She's working on the dashes. So wow, Nyla. Yeah. And so Romy is a dash 5. So he's already achieved that $100,000 bonus and is at the $15,000 a month. Now, don't get me wrong. The $15,000 a month is a very nice income, but that's not all. Romy makes a lot more than that. That is just a guarantee. It's a base amount. and then whatever your team is doing, then you make more from that. So anyway, it's exciting.
So there's a lot of money
right?
here.
Yeah, there's a lot of money. A lot of money.
We didn't want to go too deep into this tonight, but I did thank you, Michelle. You did a great job. I just wanted her to touch on it so you guys understand the kind of money that's there. And obviously, we're not allowed to make medical claims, or we're not allowed to make financial claims. But we pretty much gave you the gist, within the letter of the law, what we're allowed to do. And you can see very clearly there's a lot of money here.
There's a lot of money, but the greatest thing about this is that we have the absolute best product on the face of the earth for families.
Yeah.
I didn't have a network marketing direct sales background, okay? So what happened to me was I got introduced to this, and I saw it as a business opportunity because I'm a traditional business person. I know that I can sell these machines whether I have a team or not. So it really wouldn't have mattered whether I was a 6A or a -2 or a -3 or anything, as long as I was selling machines. So if you're looking at this and you said, you know what, I don't want one of these things that I have to go sign up thousands of people, you don't. You can make incredible income all by yourself.
And Nyla has quite the story.
Much more fun with the team.
Yeah, Nyla has a story that I think is totally going to slide into that. She's had that experience.
Perfect.
And let's go ahead and jump right into Nyla's story, because I'm just so pleased to have you here, Nyla. You're a real sweetheart, and like I said, I was really blown away by your story. It's very heartwarming and very synchronistic. You had a lot of synchronicities and serendipities and wonderful things happen to you along your journey. And let's talk about that. Nyla, you're living out in Rock Hill, South Carolina now, and you've been all over the world. You've been from everywhere to all the way down to South America, right? A lot of things down there in South America.
They're not in South America. There we go.
There you go. Yeah. So, let's talk about your story. Like, where you guys started out. Kind of the story starts out in South America. You guys were doing some ministry work down there, and we'd love to hear just a bit about you and Eddie and your background, and then tell us how you found Enagic.
Okay, thank you so much, Eric and Michelle, for allowing me to be on here tonight. I love Enagic, but a little bit about our past. I was raised in a pastor's home and married my husband and thought we would live happily ever after in Arkansas. But little did I know we would live in 4 states in Central and South America and travel to a lot of other countries. But while living in South America, my health failed, and we had to return to the U.S. Eddie actually established 5 Bible schools in Bolivia, South America. And it was really emotional time for us to have to come back to the U.S., but I was crippled. They were talking of putting me in a wheelchair, as a very, very sick lady at 42 years old. And the first year we were back in the U.S., 2002, I spent 95% of my time in the bed. And after that time, we chose, and different things that transpired, we chose to start a natural journey, and had prayed about it and just felt like I wasn't getting any better, so what did I have to lose? And for 8 years, I saw 2 natural doctors, one who had previously been a medical doctor, a traditional medical doctor. The other had been a pharmacist. And so they knew what they were doing to help me. But they were doing everything they could naturally, and I had every detox and cleanse imaginable and took handfuls of supplements, and I got some better. And during this process, actually about 3 years into the 8 years, about 3 years after I'd been seeing them, I agreed to take a class that was about pH balancing. And they checked my pH, and I'll never forget Michelle, the lady's name was Michelle. She was teaching us about healthy pH and explained that we should have a neutral pH, and if it was yellow or orange, then you would be acidic, most likely have degenerative diseases. And her comment was, if it turns red, you're probably curled up in a nursing home on your way out of here. My strip turned red that night. And so I was a very sick lady, and that was a real wake-up call for me. So I started taking what they were telling me even more seriously. And for 5 years, tried to balance my pH. For 5 years, eating the way they told me to, taking all their supplements and doing their detoxing, I never could get my pH strip to go past the yellow. And so I just felt like that was life. And when somebody introduced me to the water, I said, water's just water, like so many people say. And I really didn't want to hear about it. I didn't want to get my hopes up again. And my aunt that was introducing me to it was persistent. And that was in March. I asked, when Eric asked me to be in here, I said, I want to do it the 1st of March because it was the first week of March when I drank my first water and my first Kangen water. And when my aunt gave me those 7 gallons of water, I said, Auntie, I'll drink these 7 gallons if you promise to leave me alone and not talk about water to me anymore. I just did not believe that water would help me. And thankfully, she was persistent, and I drank the water and started feeling some changes. I understood what detoxing was. So the achiness, I started with 9.5, and she didn't want me to do that, but I didn't believe that the water would do anything to me. So I insisted on 9.5, and it slammed me into bed as if I had the flu, and I understood. It didn't scare me. I understood something was happening. But I still, I still needed some coaching. I just didn't want to get my hopes up. And about the 3rd week drinking the water, she came from Little Rock, Arkansas to Northwest Arkansas, picked me up, and took me to see Michelle Rayleigh for the first time. I did not want to go, but it was my aunt. It's the only reason I went. And Michelle was so believable, and all the people that she had up there, they were just sharing. They weren't trying to sell. I didn't want anybody to sell me anything. And so listening to them, I went back home, and that was my first time to even think about Googling or trying to find out if there was something to it. Nothing had been mentioned, or I didn't catch anything about Enagic. And when I found Enagic, then I realized that it was really a credible company. And this picture that popped up here right now, that's our 30th anniversary. Oh my word! I never dreamed that I would even live to experience that. But we were able to go back to Mexico for our 30th anniversary, to Puerto Vallarta, where we had our honeymoon. So that's a wonderful memory that we were able to enjoy, being able to return. But after I drank the water for a few weeks, I got my machine, and I didn't understand. I just knew it worked. Like my husband would say, I got my wife back. People at church would see me feeling good and smiling, and so I started sharing water, just giving water away, and in 5 weeks, I had 9 machines sold.
Yes, awesome.
So I had my machine paid off. And that was my goal. I was not looking for a business. And when the reason that I actually went ahead and bit the bullet and got my machine is because I had 2 ladies that were getting ready to find somebody online to buy a machine from because they saw how I came alive and they wanted what I had. Well, so I borrowed the money, and with the intentions of making 8 sales, 9 sales, and getting my money back. Well, I was not looking for business opportunity. So this is just for those of you who may have somebody that's really dragging their feet, they're really skeptical. Be sweet to them. Go ahead and nudge them. And, if you're lucky, you'll find an Isla out there.
That's right.
So here it has been 6 years. It was May of 2010 when I bought my machine. We have since we've got into this business, we've moved to South Carolina, and I didn't know a soul over here, but I continue to keep in touch with the people in Arkansas, and in 6 months I became a 5A, and in 8 months I became a 6A.
Incredible.
So for me, someone who had never done any sales and someone who wasn't looking for a business, to make a 6-figure income my first year was pretty amazing.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah, it was just, it was, I always say it was so God. And so I'm passionate about the company. Once you see so many feel so good and They're happy about the checks they get in the mail. You've got to continue to talk about it. So I always say I felt like I had a moral obligation. I couldn't stop once I got started. And so even though we're full-time in ministry, this has been my baby, but my husband has worked along with me at different times. And we just love the journey, and we love the people we meet. Helping, work part-time all the time. That's what I say I do. I work part-time all the time.
That's quite the story. So, all this kind of fell into your, it just kind of one thing after another happened. Like you were being guided, obviously. Right. And you met the right people at the right time, and before you knew it, you had a 6-figure income.
Right.
How incredible is that? That is such a gift. Changed your life forever, didn't it, Nyla?
It sure has. It sure has. Now, I can testify to the fact it is very important to be healthy physically, financially, and spiritually or mentally. All three play a very key part in our overall well-being.
That's what we call true health. That's the philosophy of Mr. Oshiro, is to spread true health globally with compassion. Everybody, Nyla, everybody wants true health. Everybody wants a healthy mind, body, and finances. Everybody wants that because that's the elements that tend to give us the best life that we can have. And in the 10 years I've been here, I've watched you do it. I've seen Michelle do it. Romy was doing it like right along when we first came on. He was just nailing it right then. And I have seen thousands of people do it since I've been here over the last 10 years. And I'm just so proud that I've been able to be a part of this, and work with all of you.
Look at those amazing pictures. Oh, Nyla, it was so fun going to Okinawa with you. And oh my goodness, it was so funny because Nyla and Eddie were traveling to Okinawa, Japan, and do you know they got off that airplane, and if you look at that picture on the top right, they were on the same plane.
Isn't that crazy? Tell that story.
Imagine.
Well, actually, I got on the plane from Tokyo to go to Okinawa, and when I come up the steps to get on that smaller plane, there sat Mr. and Miss Oshiro. And without a second thought, I just looked at him and said, oh, Mr. Oshiro, I love you.
Oh, that is so awesome. So special.
He looked up at me and said, Kangen butter? And I said, yes, sir, thank you so much. You've changed my life. Well, my husband's tapping me on the back, and I just looked at them both and said, thank you so much. And Eddie's gently tapping me because people are lined up to get their seats on the plane. So when we land and we go to get our luggage, there's Mr. and Miss Oshiro. So that picture in the top right-hand corner is of me with them. And I wish I could have pulled up one that's got Eddie as well. But it was just so surreal to think that they waited on us to welcome us to the country.
They are the most incredible human beings. And then we ran into you guys again.
Yes, yes.
That was
ran into each other a second time. That's on the other page. But when we ran into him the second time, he found out that I had a business over in Okinawa. He handed me an envelope to welcome me and to help pay for my expenses. And he told me I could invite my team to come to the global event. So this picture on the top left-hand side is of folks that live in Okinawa, and there you'll see Michelle and her husband as well. We had 16 attend that event as guests of Mr. Oshiro. That was just amazing, amazing. The picture in the bottom right is me doing a demo with the translator. So I had a room full of people from Okinawa, and that lady with me was translating the demonstration. And my husband on the left here is in the Yukon field. That was a wonderful experience to be able to go and see the farms and go to the plant where they make the Yukon. And I am so grateful for that. I have people tell me all the time, that's my miracle in a box.
Absolutely.
Change your life.
Exactly.
Yeah. The turmeric is absolutely phenomenal. So again, you had this whole experience. You've actually manifested a team in Japan. That's just absolutely phenomenal that you had that happen.
If I can make mention here, that team started in Okinawa because of a man in the U.S. seeing my blue water bottle. So it's important to be branded when you walk around. Questions, and then long story short, he's almost a 6A now over in Okinawa.
Yes.
Wow, that is absolutely fantastic. You know, it's really about living and being in your passion, Nyla. You were living and being in your passion and carrying that water because you had an amazing experience with the water. It helped make your body healthier, and you know, that passion carried on through other people. So it's infectious, isn't it?
Yes.
The product sells itself. Once
sure
you drink
does.
the water, you birth this passion inside of you, and things start falling in place. And Romy's going to have a very similar story to that as well tonight. But yeah, so the story continues. You ended up in Japan.
Yes. Yes, and the picture on the top right hand is 3 days after we arrived. Eddie was in Mossburger, a little coffee shop, and Mr. and Miss Oshiro walked in behind him. And so again, you know, he was excited to see them. They were excited to see him, and they had coffee together. And then Mr. Oshiro said, "Come go with me in my car." And so he took Eddie to his office, and they found the missionary, the far left. They found his phone number and called him. He and his wife came and picked me up, and we all were invited to Mr. Oshiro's office. So that's a picture of us there at his office. And on the top in the middle, that is just me with a group of my distributors in Okinawa in front of the Enagic office. The envelope here is what Mr. Oshiro handed me and said, "For your expense," while we were at the airport. Had 10 $100 bills, and that right there totally confirmed that we absolutely have an amazing, generous, gentle giant that's the CEO of our company.
That is so awesome. Yeah. I mean, that really touched your heart, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, it sure did.
Just reached in there and you handed you this envelope, and yeah, that's just amazing. Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah. They are
so,
envelope-passing people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
They're just the most wonderful people.
Yes. This picture here, Eric, is of a couple of my dear friends that are on my team, and we were working an expo. You see the big smiles. We're always happy. Yeah. I tell everybody when I'm training, even if you don't feel good and if somebody calls you, put a smile on your face before you answer the phone, because they can hear the smile. Even if you don't feel like smiling, if you'll make yourself smile, you'll feel better. And so I love this picture here with my girlfriends just because they are all smiles. Here's some more. All of these pictures of these ladies are all pastors' wives. Since I'm a pastor's wife, I really reach out to pastors' wives because we all need retirement as well. And if you don't know it, a lot of ministers don't have good retirement. So this is a wonderful opportunity for them to turn around and do something on the side. We're compassionate ladies. We're in ministry alongside our husbands, and what more can we do than to offer compassion? These are not all ministers' wives, but it was another meeting that I did in Little Rock, and my sponsor is the lady to my left, and she's very dear. She's my aunt, only 3 years older than me, and it was a difficult time for her financially. When my business took off, I was her third sale. She didn't make another sale. That whole 8 months, all these sales were popping. She was getting money, and I really won't go into the details, but I rescued her. It was
wonderful to meet some of those gals in Little Rock this past weekend, so shout out to all of you guys tonight.
Yes. We have Joy on the far right. She's in Wichita, Kansas. Cheryl, Jelaine, Judy, and Wanda are all in Little Rock. I know some of them are on this webinar tonight. I love you. And the story behind this lady, another pastor's wife, I have a group. I'm a part of a group on Facebook that's strictly for pastors' wives. And only a couple of times have I put anything about my business on that page. This particular day, I said, if any of y'all are looking for a way to make some extra money, please contact me. And Rita is in Kentucky. She contacted me, and it was almost a year before she made the decision. I kept in touch with her. I dripped information her way, and she's a 4A. She's a 4A now.
On her way.
On her way. She is building her own team. She doesn't have any upline close by to lean on. You can do it on your own. And I wanted to share this picture of Rita just to say, get out there and do it. Don't wait on somebody else to make it happen. And the same
Things
story.
happen, they flow.
This young lady is in Thibodaux, Louisiana. Rachel, I know you're going to watch this, and I love you to death. She's the sweetest little thing, and her husband is a police officer. And I met them for the first time in January. I talked to her over the phone, but I drove to Thibodaux, Louisiana to do a demo for her, and she had almost 20 people in her house. And she was writing up her third machine order today. She's down there by herself, basically, but she's got me, three-way calls. She's got all the conference calls. That's where these webinars, everything like this is fabulous. So I kind of wanted to show different people on my team. I don't have any pictures of my two 1As, and that's who I wish I had a picture of because they became my first two 6As.
Nice.
Priscilla and Linda were the ones who caused me to jump on board because they were ready to buy before I was.
So this is the excitement that it just happens. I mean, you just had this explosion, 6 figures part-time, and it's still happening. You were so excited. I talked to you a few weeks ago, and you were just talking about how excited you were about your business and how it's still just trucking along and growing.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And, go ahead.
If I may make mention, I got to 6A with only making 12 personal sales.
Now, do you hear that? 12 personal sales.
I worked with my team, and I still
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I worked with my team. And this here is about the global event convention last year, and I had several of my team members there with me, several of the pastors' wives and others. And here's a great picture with some of my team, and we got Michelle and Danny in there with us. There's all of these people that are with me have already got their tickets to this year's global event, and several more new distributors. It's so important to plug into events. The funny thing here is that's 4 preachers' wives, and those 3 ladies are all whispering, "There's Danny DeMcCauley. We need a picture with him." They'll kill me for saying that, but yeah, it was fun.
We have the best of the best in this business.
Yes, having fun. And the picture here at the bottom is me and Eddie in San Francisco. After we left the global convention, we were able to rent a convertible and drive up Highway 1 and enjoy all the sights along the coast, and then spend several days in San Francisco. It was my first time there. Even though I've traveled a lot of the world, there's a lot of the U.S. I haven't seen. And because of this business, we can do it. Top right-hand corner there is on stage at the global event. If you don't go to events, if you don't take time, make the investment, whatever it is, to get to big events, it's going to take you a lot longer to reach any rank. I mean, Michelle, you'll remember probably when I moved to South Carolina, I was so determined that I was going to learn how to do this, and I drove from South Carolina to Tulsa. It was 15 to 17 hours by myself, straight through, so I could walk in and hear you talk about the water.
Well, I'll tell you what, I would take, if I could just have you in my group multiple times over, it would be really exciting. Are absolutely dynamite, and your team. What a beautiful team you have, and just like-minded individuals who want to help others with their health, their wealth, and also just having a great time.
Right.
We just love you.
Compassion-driven business. That's it.
It is.
No doubt about it.
And this is my why. We always hear you need to have a why to be successful. And this is my why. This is my daughter next to me, and my son next to me, and my son-in-law, and my 3 grandbabies, and my husband. And this last year for Christmas, we all went to the Bahamas. Had a wonderful time doing.
Because of Enagic, you were able to do that.
Because of Enagic.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because of Enagic, we were able to do that. My son in the bottom left hand here is scuba diving with sharks. You can barely see one there in the background. He did.
So scary.
I can't imagine.
Change your life. Change your life.
Yeah. But I am forever indebted to Enagic, and you know, even though I work part-time all the time, I'm very, very pleased with where I'm at. But just toward the end of last year, we said, my husband and I agreed that it was time for me to hit the reset button mentally, and so that's why in January I made a 2,800-mile trip by myself. 9 days. I did 6 demos and had 18 sales. So I've got momentum again.
Congratulations.
And
Yes.
I'm ready to roll. So even though last year we pastored 2 churches over an hour apart from each other and was extremely busy last year, I still had a wonderful year with Enagic. Still made more than I did my first year. So I have no complaints at all with what's happened. But I want to be like Romy and Michelle someday. So I'll have more money to give away.
Yes, yes. Wow, great story, Nyla. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I appreciate it, sharing your hearts with us, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for you, darling. I know you're gonna do some amazing things.
Yes.
And then you're gonna throw a big party and buy me another carrot cake. That carrot cake is history, man. Oh, it was so good. All right.
A lot of Kangen water if you're going to eat that carrot cake.
I did. I had to run a lot of miles in order to eat that carrot cake, but it was amazing. She brought me carrot cake for my birthday, unexpected. It was such a sweet thing. Thank you, Nyla. I love you.
Family.
Let's move. Yeah, let's move on to Romy because he's got quite the story to tell. Romy, I really enjoyed listening to you today and hanging out with you, and looking at your story here is just a really awesome. It's just really awesome what you've been able to do in such a short amount of time, and of course now you've been here 10 years and you have so much to show for it. It's just amazing, Romy. So just like with Nyla, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some questions and you know, kind of start from the beginning. You're living out in Staten Island, New York, and everybody knows that that's a really expensive place to be, and a beautiful home, which we get to see here in just a moment. Wonderful place that you and Rose, your wife, has out there. How did this happen for you? I mean, where did it all start? How did you find Enagic?
Okay, what happened was 10 years ago, my friend JB invited me to this meeting in California. What actually happened was he was trying to send me brochures, call me over the phone, and I would not listen about this Kangen war. And then he came to my house, did a demonstration. I still would not listen. And he lives in California. I live in Staten Island. And one day he said, Romy, why don't you come over to California? The president of the company will be here from Japan. And that's what I did. I went and I saw this big meeting. I did not understand much because the meeting was in Japanese. But
yeah, I remember back then. Everything was in Japanese.
Yeah. All I understood was that the water really works and that the business is good. I got that part, you know. So that was enough for me. I came back to New York and bought my machine and started to do the demonstration to my friends that I saw in California. That's how I got started.
Wonderful. So, like, what did you do prior to Enagic? What were you and Rose up to?
Yeah, I was doing real estate, but I could not make any more money in real estate at the time. My wife was working at the hospital, and the hospital closed. So if I don't find something new to do, I would lose my house to foreclosure. And this came in just right on time when I decided I'm gonna try this Enagic business.
So it just came along, and you know, it didn't take you much to make a decision because you said it was all in Japanese, and then all of a sudden it's in your heart. It happened pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then from that point, I mean, obviously you were trying the water and drinking the water. What was your first impressions of the water?
I'll tell you, after I saw that presentation that showed that most of the water we drink are acidic and we should be drinking alkaline, I was so impressed with that, and I myself was suffering from some health problems. I had gout, and it helped me. So as soon as I had my machine, I started giving water to my friends. I started doing the same demo, and I just kept on doing it, and that's how I built.
Wow. So you saw a demo like this. This is Bobby Grudelli doing his demo. Of course, he's not that fast. The video is sped up. So if you haven't had the opportunity to see a demo, get in touch with the person that invited you, or visit kangendemo.com. That's just a demonstration site where you can go and see Bobby do this demo live. So write that down. It's kangendemo.com, Kangen demo.com. Okay? Check that out, and you can actually see him do this video in full. It's very, very eye-opening. So this really hits you hard there, Romy, right?
Yes, yes.
It really showed you the power of that. So, you know, as you started drinking the water, it enriched your life.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that. So, how did it enrich your life?
I've been in the business 10 years now, and like I said, I was about to lose my house at the time, and I tell you, when I saw the other people from Japan really building big business out of this Kangen water machine, I just did it myself, and I believe that if they could do it, I could do it myself. And now, last year, we moved into this new house. This is actually the 5th house we purchased, you know, from the Kangen business. And I'm sitting right now, actually, right here on my desk with this view of the ocean, except it's dark today because it's evening, you know. But we've been blessed by this Enagic business. Wow.
Yeah, and that house is something that you've been dreaming about for a long time.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
And so as this process started happening, you started signing people up, friends, family. Who did you sign up first?
I actually, on my first event when I went to California, I knew that this is a business opportunity. So I brought in my first prospect, actually, which is Cynthia Briganti. I mean, how lucky could I get, you know? Today, Cynthia is like one of the biggest distributor in the company. But she did not join me right away at that event. After about 6 weeks, I became a 5A, which is like the 50 machine sales. I called her up again, and I told her the story of how the business was going good for me. And that's when she joined, after about 6 weeks, when I was a 5A already.
That's quite the story, because she went on to be highly successful in this business. Yeah. We'll have to have her on as a guest here. But you hit the jackpot with that one, and you invited your friends and your family to be a part of this whole thing. And how long did it take for your business to take off after you got all these guys involved?
Okay, actually, before I joined Enagic, I was with different companies. Actually, for the past 20 years. Since I was 29 years old, I decided I don't want to work a regular job. I just want to do network marketing, and it just built quick for me, because I have this list of people I could call, and from the previous company, and I was doing presentation every single day. It starts with one person, and then that one person will bring in their friends. And I was just doing it every day, and it only took me actually 3 months, 90 days to do my first 100 group sales, and I became a 6A.
Wow, that is absolutely fantastic. Exciting that happened to you so quickly, and you were able to do all that you have done.
And there are people doing that right now.
Yeah, there are.
A lot of new up-and-coming distributors who are just blowing it away like that. And so, you know, it just depends. But, Romy, you do have a fantastic story.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, there's a lot of people out there, Romy, and I wanted to touch on this. A lot of people out there may be already distributors or looking at being a distributor. One of the first things I would start thinking was, you know, can I do this? Is this something I could actually do? And I believe personally that, yes, I absolutely believe everybody can do this. Everybody can succeed at this if they don't give up and they push forward. What kind of struggles? Can you tell us, like, some of the struggles that you might have experienced when you were going through, you know, getting your business started and doing, you know, basically achieving the success where you've got to the point where you are today?
Yeah, just like any other sales thing that you do, there will always be people who would not believe the product, you know. But again, from having done sales for a while, I know it's just a numbers game. So what I did was I was doing demonstration every single day, and in my first 90 days, I must have done about 120 demos. That's like 40 on the average each month, or like 1 or 2 a day. And out of that 120 demos, I must have exposed the information to about 500 prospects in a 3-month period.
Wow.
Out of 500, I had 400 who did not buy, you know, but I had the 100 who purchased. So I don't worry about the 400 who said no. The 100.
You got 400 no's.
Yeah. So my advice to new people is the sooner you get to your 400 no, the sooner you get your 100 sales, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's important to keep going. So you had the passion in your heart. You knew what you were doing. You didn't care about the no's, and you kept pushing forward, and it's paid off tremendously for you.
Just goes to show, like, once you have built the business comes to a point where it's running on autopilot. It's almost not dependent on me anymore. It goes on, it builds. Right now, my sales organization, after 10 years, I was told by Ari, the manager here in New York, I think 70% of the whole company's organization came from my group. So I'm growing at the rate of about 7,000 new people every month. You know?
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And the check just keeps on coming in.
That's a lot of money in that pile of checks right there. That is exciting. So it's like something that just takes on a life of its own, right?
Yes. After you build it, you know.
And so, you know, we talked a bit about your team. How did you build that Enagic team? How did that begin to happen for you?
Okay, the way I do it is I show my new recruit exactly how to do the demonstration on a one-on-one. Like, for instance, right now I have a guest here in my house that drove from Chicago, and they're staying with me until tomorrow. Tomorrow they go to Cancun. But I went to Chicago about 4 months ago, and after they bought the machine, and then I told them, okay, I'm going to fly to Chicago. Why don't you arrange appointment for us for like over the weekend, because they work during the week. So we planned it where I would fly on a Thursday, and then Friday they took off. Saturday and Sunday I would run around with them, do demonstration. So that's what they did. They set appointments. It's about like 3 hours apart from each other. So after we do one demo, we go to the next one. But after that weekend, when Monday came, we went to the office and they picked up 5 machines. They sold 5, you know. After that, I went back to New York and they sold 16 more machines on their own because they saw how it's done. And they went on to becoming 5A now by themselves and on their way to becoming a 6A.
Wow, and absolutely incredible. So, and you know, you mentioned earlier, it took you, how long did it take you to get to 6A?
3 months.
3 months, and that's meant a lot to you. Like, I know this slide here is some shots of your life and your family. You were able to buy multiple houses.
Yes,
with
actually,
the newfound income because of your activities.
Yes, in the past 10 years, we purchased 5 homes. Okay, and my wife and I, we love to travel. Like this past month and a half, actually, what we do during winter now is we move where it's a little bit warmer, you know. So
yeah.
We left New York actually January 5. We went to Indonesia, Jakarta, for a big event there in Enagic. From there, we went to Bali, Indonesia for a whole week and just vacation there. From Bali, we went to Kuala Lumpur, and then we went to Singapore, and then we went to the Philippines. We just got back to New York last week, and I'm already booked for doing trainings every weekend all the way to I think June.
Wow.
I was in Knoxville, Tennessee this past weekend. I'm going to be in Maryland this coming weekend. After that, Atlantic City, New Jersey, and then Florida. And then we're going on a cruise for 10 days in April. And then I'm going to United Kingdom. I get invited by these different groups to do training in their groups. And my wife and I enjoys it. Yeah.
All right, so that whole path took you 10 years now. You've been in Enagic.
Yes,
Your rank now is 6A95.
6A9-5, and there's over 2,000 6As on my whole organization, and it keeps on growing. Like I said, it's growing on its own.
So you spend all your time traveling and helping your team grow and having a lot of fun, obviously.
Like Mr. Osiro's goal is to do 20,000 units. I can remember when we just wanted to do 5,000, you know.
Yes.
We did 5,000, and then he wanted to do 10,000. We hit 10,000. From 10,000, we're shooting for 20,000. I know in a matter of time it's gonna happen. It's growing all over. Everywhere I go, I see the growth. All the groups are growing around the world.
I am so proud to be in your team.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, I'm proud to be in the same company as you, brother.
We'll help you.
Myself to get that in there. Yes, we all love Romy.
Thank you.
So, this is all about the theme of this whole thing is true health. I'd like to know, Romy, like, what is this decision that you made to embrace Enagic and create true health in your life? What has that meant to your family ultimately? Like,
okay, that's the best thing, you know. I see myself creating a legacy, building this whole business. I know that my wife and I, in the future, my 2 sons are also 6As in this business, and they're also they know everything about the business, so eventually they will take over the business. I'll hand it on to them when I grow old, and I could see the next generation, my grandchildren will continue. It feels so good to be able to build something in your life that you can pass on down the line to the next generation.
absolutely, and here's some shots of your family here, and your son Jason is killing it with his Enagic business as well, and I see him traveling all around. And
hey, and I'd just like to add a little side note here.
Yeah.
Any of you who are listening to this webinar, whoever invited you most likely is in Romy's team too. So that means you're on Romy's team. So buy from, you're going to be through Romy, and he will definitely want you to buy through them.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So, Romy, we're getting close. We're a little bit over our time, so we're going to wrap this up here. But I just wanted to close this out with advice. So you've done amazing things with your business, and you've made a lot of money, and you've helped, more than that, you've helped a lot of people. You've built churches. You've bought the dream house that you always wanted. You had it corked up, you told me, on your cork board, and you were able to walk in and buy that place in Staten Island, and now you're living in it, and you have multiple houses, and you've got, like I said, you're building churches, which I think is a very beautiful and honorable thing, and a wonderful service that you're giving to humanity. In closing, I would like to know, like, what advice would you give to the viewers who are looking at Enagic for the first time? Since we're going to close this webinar out here in just a moment, what advice from a pioneer like yourself, a veteran, would you offer? Okay, if I look back, like from 10 years ago, I would say that my life changed when at that one moment in time where I made a decision that I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna buy a machine and try this business. Okay, the water is good for me, and the business I can try. And if I just take away that one moment in time in my life, I don't know what kind of life I have today. Like this house that you're seeing here. This was on my dream board a long time ago, and Enagic became the vehicle for me to own this house, to buy this house. I remember when I posted this, I was looking at
beautiful houses here in Staten Island. And it was just a wild dream. Maybe I can own this house. And it came true because of Enagic. And the good thing is, it's not just me. I have shared this information, this business, to many of my friends. And many of my friends are today enjoying the lifestyle also that Enagic have given us, you know. So my suggestion is give it a try. Make a decision. Purchase a machine. And you never know what happens until you try it. And to many of my friends and myself, our life have changed with that decision.
Absolutely, tremendously. Thank you so much, Romy.
You're welcome.
It's so good to have you on here and to hear your story. I think a lot of people will be inspired by that. Absolutely. I'm inspired by that.
Absolutely.
I just want to encourage everyone out there. First of all, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for hanging out with us through this webinar. If you could feel my heart coming through the camera, you would feel the truth that I'm speaking. Enagic is a top-notch opportunity with longevity. Like I said, it's been going strong. I've been here for 10 years. I'm looking forward for my next 10 years of working with all of you and all of the newcomers that are going to join. We touched on a lot of things tonight. A lot of information was shared with you briefly. Get back in touch with the person that invited you to this. Email them tomorrow. Give them a call. Take that first step, whether it be ordering a machine, just going for it like Romy and Nyla did. I did the same thing, and Michelle went for it. Have the courage to do that and move forward. And at the very least, get in touch with the person that invited you and drink the water. Right. Once that water enters your body, you're going to have an experience that's going to change your life. And then from that point on, it's not really about how do I sell this or how do I, no, it's about whose lives can I touch? Whose lives can I change? How can I positively affect everyone? Things begin to happen, and I hope that's the thread that you picked up through all these stories tonight is it will happen for you. Take the first step and then put one foot in front of the other and enjoy the process, because something amazing will unfold for you like it has in everyone's life here that's on this webinar, and tons of people out there in internet land, right?
Yes, yes. Oh, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. What a fantastic opportunity to be with you tonight and hear these fantastic stories. And thank you, Eric, for taking such good care of us here at Enagic.
It's my pleasure every single day. Thank you, Nyla. Love you, sweetheart.
Thank you, and I love you too, sweetheart. And Romy, you just did 2006A, so I did the math real quick. And if you're getting that bonus for every 6A, oh my word. What? I was muted. I don't know if y'all saw my husband kiss me, but he came through the door and leaned over and kissed me, and I just said, "You're not going to believe one of Romy's bonus checks." Anyway, I didn't take them out, but it just blew my mind, so I'm remotivated. I might not sleep tonight.
Yeah. We can't say those numbers, but they're massive.
Hey, and I've been to Romy's house, and we talk a lot about different things, and some people say, "Oh, join this company, you can have a car." Well, in Enagic, we buy houses. That's what I'm doing right now, too. Enagic is houses, so join Enagic.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Absolutely.
Have a great night. Looking forward to, we will be doing another session here very soon, so stay tuned with either the person who invited you, or if you're already a distributor, stay tuned to enagicwebsystem.com. You might want to go there and check it out. It's the official Enagic web marketing system. It's my life's work, so please check it out. If you join the community, we'll take good care of you, and we'll help you along the way, all along the way. And by signing up, you'll actually have access to all of the emails and updates and these webinars that help you actually do the telling and sharing and selling. I don't even like to use the word selling. It's sharing and changing people's lives. So have a wonderful evening. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you now.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye for now.